Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Bama Standard. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on all your notifications and also follow us on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our new YouTube page where we have clips, replays of old episodes, and the latest in recruiting news. I'm your host, Justin Riley. With me, as always, is senior analyst of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, Stephen M. Smith. And back with us once again, the USFL champion, Mr. Bo Scarbrough. What's going on, fellas?
What's up? You gonna have to change that intro, man. Marvin, you, Steven, and Steve on not even me.
Oh, actually, I got a new one. I'm gonna roll out next week. So, and you're in it. So it's actually a highlight clip.
But that ain't the normal thing, though.
We got you, man. Don't worry. We got you. But before we jump into this whole episode, listen, we got a hype video we got to get y'all to see, get y'all ready for the season. We're only a few weeks away. And this is provided through Hayes Productions. Y'all get ready.
You've broken everything. Your suffering is almost at an end.
I was convinced I was put here for some other reason. Maybe I can still help, even if it's the last thing I do.
Lost.
If that don't get you fired up, I don't know what will. Again, that was provided by Hayes
hold
Productions.
on. That looks like a Michael Bay movie trailer, man. That looked like Transform Bama Football Edition.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, we go big here. And again, thanks to Hayes Productions. They give us permission to do that today, to add to this show. And
hey, Justin, you know the dopest pop up the footage of Tutwiler Hall coming down.
Hey, man. A lot of memories in Tutwiler Hall. I'm sure Bo has quite a few good memories from there, but we won't talk about that tonight. But guys, welcome back in. This episode brought to you as always by Workspace Solutions and Oakmont Financial Partners. Bo, welcome back. Well, I guess not welcome back. All right, he's gone. He's done, folks. That's all he can give tonight. He's tired. You with us, Bo? Oh, now we can't hear him. All right, welcome in, everybody. Glad to see everybody in the chat. Let's get this thing rolling. Bo, are you there?
See you, Bubba. We can't hear you, my dude. We can't hear you quite yet. We see you there. We can totally see you. Just can't hear you.
Well, while we get him figured out, Stephen M., we've got a lot going on in terms of recruiting. Last Friday, we got the big man, the giant Olas Alanin to commit. Tomorrow, we have another announcement. It's going to be coming. Whether or not we will have Caleb Downs or not, he will tell us. And then next Monday, Hunter Osborne is going to make his decision. If you would, get us quickly caught up to date, man, and what's going on in the world recruiting. I know all the eyes of Crimson Nation are turned towards all forms of social media right now.
Well, they are, and it's been crazy right now on the Tide, young man from Finland. So we're seeing Nick Saban touch international soil and raw strength, raw power, mean athleticism. Not the polished pass protector right now, but I think he'll get there. I think this season he'll get there. But as a run blocker, dog, mean road grade right there as a run blocker. And I know Alabama would love to have him at tackle, but if you can start him off at guard, you would be doing him a big service because him and putting people on their butt, whether it's traditional blocking, power blocking, pull blocking, opening up those opportunities for the running backs from a guard standpoint, ain't gonna need, but big get to bring him in here. And then you look at, potentially Caleb Downs, big 5-star defensive here. Several guys have been in his ear saying, you need to come to Bama, you need to join us right here. Will Formby, 4-star offensive lineman, recruiters for this class, along with Tony Mitchell. Mitchell has also been in Caleb Downs. Tomorrow's a big day for him. Then on August 1st, Hunter Osborne, a young man from Hewitt-Trussville High School in Trussville. I remember when Alabama from Trussville to Texas, people were like, oh, shoot. But Hunter is a bit better than Justice Finkley is. So if you can pick up a Hunter, Tony Mitchell has been all up in Hunter's grill because he wants Hunter. As you can see, Tony Mitchell, 5-star in-state defensive back, has to help with Will Formby even more so in recruiting this class.
I tell you what, man, I think Tony Mitchell might have to get a check from the Alabama staff because of all the recruiting work that he's putting in. It's absolutely amazing all he's doing. And then you got Justice Haynes trying to get Richard Young here as well. But, yeah, Hunter Osborne, man, I really like him. First thing that stands out to me about him is he's a man amongst boys. Powerful hands, jams linemen before they can set up their blocks, causes separation, and he can shed blockers in a blink of an eye. He rushes with a lot of power and suddenness. He plays impressively well in space. Typically, you don't see guys at his size play as well as he does in space. Has great closing speed and flashes excellent backside pursuit ability. And then Caleb Downs, man, I watched a little bit about on him earlier today. That dude's a thumper. He's not scared to get involved in a bunch of traffic and a bunch of trash to get to the ball. He's speed. He has a lot of speed, very instinctive. He tracks down that ball like no other. I know that Bama fans have been watching him like no other, and they really, really need this tomorrow from him. And Hunter Osborne, man, another big man. Olas Alanine, just like you said, tremendous run blocker. And watching film of him, it kind of takes me back to The Blind Side and that famous scene where Big Mike took that defensive end and drove him all the way off the field, past the track, and tossed him over the rails. That's kind of what you're getting with Olas Alanine. So Bama fans have a lot to be excited about with those guys.
Oh, and they do. And they also need to be excited about, say 2024, in the future here when you look at a defensive back, Jalen, hopefully I'm pronouncing that last name correctly there. Another big in-state talent. Freddie Roach played a big role in getting that young man to commit to the Tide for 20. I go back to something that Coach Bull Jones mentioned last week. Bama's getting defensive backs that have no fear. They play with no fear. They play the ball, scrap, they battle. You look at Tony Mitchell, his footwork, his eyes, his hands, Justice. You look at Jaleel Hurley. You look at all of these deep the program. Brayson Hubbard. You look at a guy like a Caleb Downs. Should you go ahead and look at a Carmani McClain, a Kai Vickers? Should they come in? Bama's getting those corners that will run with you, those corners that will be physical with you, those corners, they're getting back to having guys that have no fear on the back end.
Absolutely. And yeah, you're absolutely right in regards to the secondary that we're recruiting. Looking at all those guys, they look like they're going to be coming in grown men.
Can you hear me, Justin?
Oh, right. We got some audio.
We got him.
Look at God.
I'm telling you, man. Look at Christ Jesus, man. Absolutely, Randy Harris. We are definitely keeping John Metchie in our prayers. So we're the Bama diagnosed with leukemia on Sunday. He announced it. It's a curable form, which I was most grateful for. But the way I do know him, he's a tough kid. That's a tough young man. He's been through all Canada. So knowing Metchie, he's gonna smile and he's gonna fight. And those are two things. He gonna smile, he gonna fight, and at some point we will see him. Probably not him back playing football at some point soon.
Yeah, man. Like you said, the most important aspect of this whole situation with John Metchie is this form of cancer has a 9% survival rate, the most curable form. And John Metchie is a fighter, like you said, and he will definitely beat this sooner rather than later and be back on the field before we know it. Speaking of back on the field, the living legend himself, Steve Brown, has entered
Stacey
the ring.
Adams, the OG.
Hey, man, y'all.
Cereal milk.
What's going on? Hey, first of all, what's happening, champ? Bo Scarbrough, congratulations to you, man, on winning the inaugural USFL Bowl. That's what's up. I'm happy for you. Number two, I just heard this news about John Metchie having this cancer. He don't have it. He don't have leukemia. He don't have it.
He don't have
it. I don't know why they writing that. He don't have it. I don't know why y'all writing that stuff. He has what you call a little battle, but he's gonna be fine. When you have faith like I do, that's that's gone. All that showed up is gone. You gotta have faith and believe it. Believe that it came and it went, and we just believe in that God is gonna do that, and we're gonna keep it moving. He's gonna get back on the football field, just like I believe with all my heart and my soul that Bo is gonna be back in the NFL. I believe all that. So we good. And I believe that Steve Brown is going to compete in the what?
In what?
In the strongest man competition.
Oh no! You
Based
can
on
get
those
that thought out
Facebook
your
posts,
head.
Steve.
you can get that thought out your head. I also I prayed about it, and I just knew that Stephen M was gonna have sex one day. Look at you.
I knew that was coming.
As a matter of fact, y'all don't even.
He haven't had his wet, Steve.
Hey man, let me tell you something. Hey, knowing Stephen M, he's so excited. He's still wearing the condom. He still got it on. Like a trophy. He still got it on. So hey.
Well, listen, before we go any further, our guest has arrived. He's in the waiting room. Stephen M. Smith, hopefully your cell phone service will give us a clear enough signal to give a great intro. But if you would, introduce this man who's in our waiting room.
Absolutely. It's in our waiting room right now. Offensive lineman in the Nick Saban era came over from Cameroon. Recruiting class. He's one half of the Kouandjio brothers, of me, the national champion, a first team all SEC. Did I mention his dangerous Kouandjio click? We talking about Arie Kouandjio is here. What's happening with you, man? You look clean, bro.
What's up, brother? Just just trying to keep it up for you guys.
I hear you, man. You look like you're ready to strap it up again, brother. Doesn't look like a day has passed.
Right, I'm ready to strap it up. I don't know what's going to happen when I get out there, though.
Right, real quick before we get started, big shout out to Randy Harris, who donated $22 in the super chat. We greatly appreciate that, and he did it in honor of you, Bo. So welcome back, sir.
Hey man, that $22. Look, y'all send me at least 3 or 4 of that because these gas prices is something else. I put enough gas in my car to get to the next pump. So y'all yeah, so y'all will.
I put $100 in my car and still ain't on full.
Yeah, man. Hey man, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Go ahead.
And Bo's driving a 1995 Civic.
What? Oh my God!
I'm driving a 2007 Honda Accord. Red, can't even see through the windows.
Oh wow!
So if you oh wow, you know.
I'm driving a Cadillac with a stick in the floor.
When they live, the Honda say gas. Yeah, I'm just finna cut. I'm out of my car and just put a bicycle right there.
Yeah.
And then,
I can see it, Bo.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Get those the Birmingham Stallions colors going. Yeah, you said.
right.
Well, listen, Arie, we know we only have you for a limited amount of time, so let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll start us off. How competitive was your house growing up with Cyrus, and how much of that carried over to Alabama?
Man, it was probably a little too competitive in the house. We started out in Africa, as you guys pointed out earlier, and we started out in Africa, and we were with my mom, my dad, my older brother was 10 years older, and my little sister wasn't there yet, Soleil. So really, it was just me and Cyrus for a long time. We were both big kids. We were 1 year apart. I was older brother, which is a big deal everywhere, but also in Africa, especially in Africa. But I was only a year older. So, of course, you had this whole deal where it's like, hey, you got to listen to me. You got to respect me. And on Cyrus's end, he was like, man, what are you talking about? You're only a year older, right? It kind of climaxed over the years, building up. I remember, just like at first we were kind of like fighting each other. Then, we get to college, I'm there, Cyrus comes later on. And then we get this incredible opportunity to play with each other on the same team against a bunch of other people, right? And man, that really was one of the highlights of my life, just being able to like take the competitiveness that we had and move that over to one common goal, which was to, win games for all the fans in Alabama, or at least the really cool fans in Alabama.
So I got to ask, what was the bigger culture shock, coming over here from Africa or going head to head with the Alabama fan base?
Gas prices.
Well, I think gas prices. Yeah, I mean they're coming down now. They're coming down now. So I think the biggest. I don't know. I could say that coming down to Alabama was a really big culture shock.
Hell yeah!
Because I'm a kid from Beltsville, Maryland. In Maryland, everybody kind of was looking at me as like a big time recruit. But the thing is, nobody really cared. Now I moved down to Alabama, and everybody loves Alabama football, and everybody's so supportive, and everybody wants to show that support. So that was a huge culture change.
So Arie, so you got to keep it real with us now. This is the Bama Standard. How big was that culture shock when you got to Tuscaloosa? Because I grew up in Tuscaloosa, and it's still a culture shock to me. When you got a house and you got a house, with no front porch, that's a culture shock. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it was a shock, and like going back to the Africa thing, it was even a bigger culture shock because not only did I come from Maryland, but I came from Cameroon, Yaoundé, Africa, right?
Yahoo?
Yaoundé.
Yaoundé.
You know what I'm talking about. You know where Yaoundé is. You know what I'm talking about. Stop playing.
Wow. No, I'm saying we in Tuscaloosa, man. You know, yeah, we didn't have a porch. We would have to come home and just jump into the house. So I'm just saying, that's a real culture shock, bro. So yeah, so I know when you got to Tuscaloosa, you're the hell is this?
Man, I was all about it though. I mean, it was good. I mostly only knew about Tuscaloosa from what I've heard in like movies and TV, and I remember like coming down and being like, "Wow, this is amazing." This is
wait a minute. What'd you hear? Now we get into the good part, Justin. What'd you hear about Tuscaloosa?
Man, really, obviously, what I mostly heard was that Alabama might be like just a little bit more rural.
Say it.
I mean, it would be more rural, like you see like the slavery movies, you see like the
he was expecting Mississippi burning, Steve,
and and it was totally different, wasn't it?
George Wallace in front of like the school, all that stuff, and
it was totally different, wasn't it?
It was totally different. Everybody was nice.
Yeah, totally different. Yeah. A lot of now. See, the thing is, that's true because there is that like a slavery mentality in Tuscaloosa. Not real slavery. Everybody I went to school with in jail. So that's pretty much they locked up. So, yeah, as a matter of fact, I just got out 2 months ago. So yeah, we good.
Yeah, Steve's on work release.
How long were you there?
He got an ankle bracelet on. He can't go within 100 yards of their house.
Hey, but they said Arie was so big, he didn't get no ankle bracelet. They gave him a whole belt. I'm like, damn, that's a big ankle.
Hey, man, I'm trying to stay out that dog too.
So Arie, what were the differences in the huddle between AJ McCarron and Blake Sims? How did each man lead that huddle differently?
Man, that's a really good question. I don't think anybody's ever asked.
All right.
I know.
Go ahead,
What
Steve.
would you say? What was the difference?
What was the difference? Okay, Blake's okay. So no, it was AJ McCarron. We're gonna do 31 right smash on 2. Blake Sims, we're gonna run that bitch to the right, down and throw. Let's do it.
Nah.
Let's get it.
Nah, see, it was AJ Barrett. I'm gonna knock you out. Cooper, go deep, bro. Go.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That must have been that Lane Kiffin terminology.
Yeah, that.
Man,
Everybody
both
go deep.
Those guys, like they were obviously different type of people here, and they had different skills, and everybody knows what those skills are. But honestly, I mean, they both had really what it took to lead the team, really lead the offense. They led us emotionally in different ways, but yeah, I mean they were both in leaders, and I was really blessed to play with them.
I got a great question. Where were you, and did you witness firsthand when AJ McCarron got a whipping on live TV from Saban? Where were you?
Which one?
Huh? Which one? Damn. When AJ McCarron got spanked on ESPN.
That was LSU.
Mississippi State.
That was LSU. Was it?
It was Mississippi State in 2010.
I saw.
All right, so let me ask you this: what if it had happened to you on live TV? What would you have done?
Man, thank God it didn't happen to me. I don't know. What you do? I want to know you. This is what I want to figure out. What would you do, Steven?
Hey, what would I do? Man, I play dead. I play dead in school.
Oh yeah.
Then he pressed charges.
Hey man, I will fall so hard. All of my pants come up. I'll be on the sideline butt naked. I'm telling you. Everything comes out. Yeah. You know what? I thought personally when I saw that, I wasn't shocked because just watching Coach Saban, he turns it on and turns it off. Off the field, he is like one of the from what I've seen, one of the nicest men you would ever want to meet. He's always joking and all that. But once you see him on the sideline, he's a totally different man.
Completely different cat.
Yeah, that's why people got the public got him so wrong. Y'all, coach, he this, he this, he that, he's so mean. And they're like, no, he's just in game mode. And the thing is, I was always taught that the players are an extension of their coach from the attitude on down. Now, I never got to experience that because I was always fourth and fifth string, but I saw it. Right. I ain't getting the game, but I saw it. You know.
So all right. I'm pretty on this. The reason why Coach Saban be so mad on the sideline because because of something that he been saying in practice the whole week, and then they still go out there and do. So that's just really just tick him off because it's basically being undisciplined as one of his main focus, right? All right.
I definitely think that's part of it. I think that coach is just really big into accountability.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited.
I believe that if I were to guess, coach would not feel okay letting things slide. He would feel from the standpoint that he's letting us down. He's not getting the best out of us, and he's allowing it to slide. He's not making us grow and progress in the way we need to. And part of that is you got to match whatever is going on with your emotions and your leadership, right? So in game time, it's the stakes are high, and you got to kind of like let people know that
Okay, and I one more question. This was way up thought out. I prayed about it too, so this is going to be a good question. So has Coach Saban ever gotten on to you? And if he did he use a ladder or did he jump?
Man, he
Good question.
I think with Coach Saban,
That's a good question.
We're not perfect, right? None of us are perfect. And he got on me plenty, right?
But how did he do it? Because he's Coach
physically, how did he do it? He just look me eye to eye,
No, hell, no, he didn't.
Eye to knee.
What's that,
on your
Justin?
back? He's about 10 feet tall.
Hey, Justin, you said eye to knee. He looked eye to knee.
Hey, Mario.
What about you?
So,
what about you, Bo?
He got on to me from a distance,
Yeah.
Kind of, So he yelled at me in a meeting, after that Tennessee run. He ain't really, he didn't know where I was sitting at, so he was just looking around, looking for me, but I was kind of slumped down a little bit. So he got on to me, but not face to face. He was standing there where I was at, but everybody knew he was talking about me, though.
Hey man, Bo, I'm gonna tell you something. By the way, that little Tennessee move you did when you did that move's classic and memorable. The first thing I said was, "Look at Bo," but he finna get his ass tore up in that locker room. That's what I did. I said he finna get his ass.
Oh my God,
he finna get his ass shredded in the locker room.
Now, Arie, who was your favorite running back to block for?
Man,
you had some ones too.
Man, that's a good question. Dude, the thing about that is they all showed up at the right time. Somebody always showed up when we needed it, right? So this game, it could have been TJ, right? And he could have had a stellar game, and maybe he's hurt or something else has happened, and then we need Kenyon to come through and so on and so on. You know, I had the pleasure of like being with so many solid backs. I remember at one point, man, it was just like, will these guys ever play? That room was just crazy. So, yeah, man, yeah, that's.
Have you?
They all came through.
Have you ever had to get on your brother in practice?
Get on my brother? No, Cyrus was pretty competitive. Shoot. Yeah, Cyrus was pretty competitive for the most part, but you know, we've for sure had to get each other hyped up. You know, like we've prayed together. We've done, we've even prayed together from drill to drill on practice and in practice and stuff like that. So I guess that's probably the most.
All right, so
I don't know. That's probably not what you were expecting.
Have you and your brother had to beat somebody up in practice? You know, like double team? Have you ever had to beat somebody up? You know, like he say something to your brother. You ain't gonna talk to my brother like that, and y'all, you know.
I mean, we've gone back. We've done.
Answer the question.
But, we were young. There's different ways to handle things, right? And sometimes it gets hot.
No. Have you and your brother ever double teamed somebody? Yes or no?
Not double. I'm not even going to get into this with you.
Well, I'll ask a question. Speaking of you and your brother, both of you put on a clinic against Texas A&M in 2013, and on that revenge game on the road.
Yes,
that was a pure shootout. Can you talk about that performance?
Man, I remember like I said, like I was just talking to Steven about, like, he don't like my answers, but I'm gonna keep answering them anyway. But yeah, I just remember like Texas, man. I remember we flew out there. Maybe we flew out there a day early or something like that, or early. I remember just me and my brother sitting in front of some lake out by the hotel, and we just chilled there for a second. I don't know what we talked about, but like whenever we stepped on the field, it just felt like it was our field, right? It was a shootout. We grew up like I was telling you guys earlier, we grew up like watching cartoons and watching anime, all that stuff. And in a lot of those animes, people are just like in fights and they going blow for blow, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I just remember being excited and just going with it. That was probably one of the times where I felt the fierce on the field in my life. So.
What was more satisfying, getting that?
So you watch anime? Because I be watching all the time. I be on Pornhub. And I be like, the thing is coming.
I knew this was coming.
There's other kind of anime too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Hey, Justin. I the reason I brought up the fact that him double teaming somebody, him and his brother, is because I was going to ask that question.
No, I
was going to ask that question because me and my brother, we used to try to double team people, but we always lose. And I was wondering, was it a system that you can win?
You had to get in the weight room, Steve.
I think if we were to, get into those situations, I think we'd be all right.
There it is.
Yeah.
So what was more satisfying, that 2013 victory on the road or coming back home the very next year and just dogging them, destroying them at your place?
100%. That is. On the road. It was like one of the best games ever. Like the fans were out. The heat was out. It was like, it was like the, I guess, revenge game everybody talked about. It was fantastic. And I felt good. I felt good that game. Body was feeling good.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's before you get into the
Vinny. I like that Vinny Sanseri pick six now. Like Vinny took that thing back. That was nice. And I didn't think Vinny was gonna be the one to do it either. I thought it was gonna be somebody else, and then Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny's an incredible player. He had a great year.
The whole team looked incredible to me. I mean, all of y'all, I was so happy about that. Y'all just went down there and handled business.
Man, it was a fun game. It was a fun game, and that shootout was like the best part of it because it fell on us to a degree. Mm-hmm. to kind of look out for the defense. And it fell on us, but at the same time, we weren't having one of those games that were just like a slump day where you're not getting anything moving, right? So it's like it fell on us, and we were actually hitting our stride, right? So it was a good time to go out and produce the fun, and then the defense came through.
Yeah, but I felt for that pressure because going in, it was like defense was saying we got to stop Manziel over here. Hey Jay, let's just get this thing going because y'all knew that y'all were going to be in a fight with Manziel.
Man, to be honest with you, I don't know. Like they told us, I think one of the things that I took from my time at Alabama, and I'd love to hear your thoughts too, Bo. One of the things that I took from Bama is trying your best not to let the outside circumstances affect your performance.
Mm-hmm.
And so you look at a game like that, everybody's going to want you to think about like revenge game, aways, 12th man, all these different things. I don't know, to the Kool-Aid and saying that, hey, I'm not going to pay attention to that. I'm just going to focus on what I have to do this play, who I have to like block, and who I have to play. And it served me well, and it's been serving me well in life, I think.
I think we lost his volume.
I can hear. So Arie, what is life like now after football? Do you miss it as far as college football? Do you miss it?
I miss my guys. I miss being in the locker room. I miss interacting with the coaches. I miss the grind. I miss the fans, probably, top up there. And I miss playing with my brother and all my friends. But in terms of football itself, hey, man, I'm just an African kid from Cameroon who just God put an incredible opportunity in my hand. Football was not necessarily my number one thing in life. And in fact, I intentionally made that not my number one thing in life.
Right.
Yeah, so I do miss parts of it. Everybody will watch a game once in a while and be like, oh, man. I kind of do miss it. But in general, football was an incredible blessing and incredible thing that's taken me far in life. Right now, it's taken me into the space industry. That's where my heart is. Business, that's where my heart is. And I'm having even more fun than I did in football now.
Oh wow!
Even though I miss like my friend.
So are you here in the States or are you back in Africa?
I'm actually in DC right now.
Oh wow!
Okay, cool. That's what's up.
So yeah,
I
don't know.
We got a question from the audience here from James Knox. He says, "Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Who did Arie whip on in practice drills, or who may have done the opposite to you? Or I guess who was your best challenge in practice, man?"
I think, man, it'd be like guys who you would never think of. Honestly, so probably number one, I'd probably have to go with Ashawn Robinson.
Good
Ashawn.
Good choice, sir.
He's a baller.
Yeah, we had some good battles my last year there. I think aside from that, there were just like so many other cats that were like incredible, right? I was there with Marcel Darius. I was there with, Thomason. Like, I don't even gotta go down. You just put in the tape. Like it was crazy. But yeah, I don't know, man. There was something about that Ashawn. But honestly, also there was this guy named Dakota Ball. I don't know if you guys know about this guy.
I heard of him.
Yeah, Big Coda. Big Coda.
Hey man, if you had to say Ben Davis, I would have lost it.
That was
I would have lost. I was like, Ben was that back then, Joe? Wow.
Ben Davis.
You know Ben Davis?
Know of him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think
But,
he's Alabama's longest tenured player. Is that right, Justin? He's been
I
there.
believe so. I think you guys doctorate now.
Yeah, he's been there for a while. And now,
Yeah,
I think he just transferred to Texas, but he's been at Bama for at least probably going on 7 years, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, real talk.
Arie, I know that you have to go, but I wanted to ask one final question based on a video I saw earlier today when they're interviewing Jonathan Allen. This generation is all about the press conferences, the social media fame, NIL, etc. They treat their commitments like a sideshow or something they just do. What does it actually mean to commit to Alabama? Because I don't think this generation truly understands what the whole committing to Alabama is. Not just signing on down the line, it's accepting everything that comes with it.
You know, I think really that committing to Alabama means committing like to the process, committing to like drinking the juice. Alabama does things differently, and the way that the way we have done things and we have done things has produced results, right? So it's produced results not only individually for people, but it's also produced results for the whole group. So I don't know. I don't think Alabama is for everyone, and yeah, frankly, it's not for everyone. But if you can handle it, it's going to make you a better person. It's going to make you a better player, and everything else.
That's what's up. Well, man, we greatly appreciate you coming on. I know you're at work right now, and you had to sneak away for a minute. Like I said, well, I really appreciate you sitting down with us, and we're not the typical interview, man, so I appreciate you putting up with all that we are.
You mean you riding the clock?
I don't know. I'm on the clock.
We busted him, Steve.
Who was your
I'm trying to figure out.
Who was your supervisor? Who was your damn supervisor?
No.
But Arie, before you go, man, for all the Tide fans, you know how passionate we are about players. Tell the Tide fans and the audience how they can find you on social media, and then what's up next for you.
Yeah, you guys can find me. Search my name on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever you want. And that for me is, hopefully, next for me is just, hopefully a loving career in space. Should be down in Alabama pretty soon. Looking forward to interact with the state some more, and I love my Bama fans, and I love my Alabama people in general.
Yeah. Well, man, we greatly appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for having me on the show. It's really good to see everyone. Really good to see you, Bo.
Good to see you too, my brother.
Yeah, I gotta see what you cook up pretty soon.
He's too damn professional for me. He's just too professional for me. That business world again.
He's not used to it.
Hey man, thank you for coming on, man. We are
yes,
big
sir.
fans,
Thank
man.
you.
Big fans. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey man, that brother's kind of like a gentle giant until you get on the field, huh?
Oh man, he was something else when he stepped on that field, brother. He brought all the pain and all the power.
Oh, hey, so you I heard you mention something about Jonathan Allen interview. What happened? What was up with that?
He was on a podcast with T.O. and someone else, and he was just talking about that very thing that a lot of people nowadays, especially with NIL, chasing that money, chasing the transfer portal, a lot of this generation doesn't really understand what it means to commit to the process. It's not, just making some posts on social media. It's not about getting on TV, having these press conferences. It's about buying into so much more, and he was just trying to get that point across on that podcast.
Honestly, I joke and I play. I'm really, really kind of scared, but I'm concerned about the direction of college football. You know what I'm saying? I want the passion and everything else that comes with college football to remain the same. I don't want people to turn it into entertainment, money, for money. Because honestly, that's why I would prefer college football over pros, because these guys, this is their job, true enough, and they're making a lot of money and all that, and I root for them. But when you got those college kids out there performing every day to get to that level, they are working their butts off to do it. Now, you don't really have to work so hard because you're getting paid all this money that you would get before you even get to the pros. And then, I mean, I'm not saying don't give them the money, but I feel like it should be a stipend or something, or that they get. And, I don't know how they can do it, but, you give them a 17, 18, 19-year-old millions of dollars, they can say they are mature and this and that, but you asking for problems. You gotta understand, somebody at that age making that type of money, you really can't tell them nothing. Now, and the only power that they would have over this kid is to kick him. That means he leaves with nothing. But I mean, as far as anything else, I mean, he's gonna have everybody and his mama pulling at him now. He's gonna have the pressure rises now because anytime. I mean, having money, it's a great thing. Literally it is, but emotionally and mentally, it can tear you apart. And the statement, the more money you make, the more problems you have. That is a true statement, because now you start losing people, because people who were in your life before you got the money, they feel like they're entitled to some of your money and some of your success. Well, dog, I've been knowing you since the third grade. You ain't gonna pay my house note. You ain't gonna do this. I mean, they Bo, you was in the pros. You going back. I'm sure you've seen it before. You know what I'm saying? With guys that you've been around, they feel like you owe them something because they've been around you. They didn't put the work in. They weren't getting up at 5 a.m, going to the gym and this and that and conditioning, and you having to not spend time with your family because you got this and that, but because they hung out with you, because they was your boys back in the day, they feel like you owe them something. Family members the same way. I get that in the entertainment business all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, so I'm 54 years old. We'll be 54 tomorrow. We'll be 55 tomorrow. Excuse me. We'll be 55 tomorrow. But yeah, the thing is, I go through it now. Think about what these 17, 18, or 19-year-olds are going through.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the biggest concerns that Coach Saban has talked about, especially in SEC Media Day last week, was how are we protecting these kids who are going to have money, not only from the family members, like you said, the homeboys from back on at home, but also too the crooked agents.
Yeah,
who is protecting them against them? Who don't have their best interest at heart. Also, who's speaking to these kids about taxes?
Go ahead, sorry. I'm just got this.
I'm sorry. I don't say too. You also got the aspect of these athletes being given, free gifts, free cars. Mm-hmm. Okay, do they not understand that that's not exactly free? They're going to have to pay a huge tax on that Benz they're given. So who's educating them as far as those things right there?
Then I'm gonna tell you this too that people don't talk about, and Bo, you know this too. Once you become a household name, or you get some type of notoriety, that little small town that you're from, you got guys that will literally hate you for that, because you guys started out the same and they're still doing the same thing, and you grew, and now they're envious and jealous of you, so they want to do harm to you. Believe it or not, there have been a lot of professional entertainers that I know, especially rappers. You know where they got killed at? No, these entertainers that got killed, rappers and all that. Do you know where they got killed at?
Mm-mm.
In their own hometown.
Yeah, so
hometown. Their own hometown. So the thing is, then you got an even bigger target on your back. Then you got to understand something. There are a lot of guys that want to go to college and can't go to college, and they're jealous of the guys who go to college. But now you're going to college and you're making money. The football team, the University of Alabama football team, when they went, like after a game, they would have the college night at the Citizens Club back in the day or whatever. A college night for the players because they won the game or whatever. Guess who they would always get into a fight with? The locals. Not because they were being bullies of the party. They came to the football players' party to fight them out of jealousy. They want to be in their shoes. So now, since we can't have it, we're gonna try to do something to you, so you can't have it. But those football players will beat their asses and keep partying. So it's just one of those things. We're living in a different world now. So I just really wish that they would keep college football instead of turning it into a business. I want these kids to choose a school that will help them get an education. Think about graduating. Think about another career outside of football. Because now, as sad as it seems, these kids they're not asking, well, what type of degree can I get? How long will it take me to get this degree? What can I do after college? They are asking, what kind of deals can I make? What type of money can I get? That's the question now. So pretty much, why are they going to college?
Absolutely, you're right on that. It's about now, like the package deals. It's not about all those things you just mentioned anymore, and it's going to get to the point where it's going to start causing a disruption in the locker room and on the sidelines. What happens if players start holding out because they don't feel like they're getting paid enough?
Exactly. But then here's what the NIL deal. If you don't play, you're not getting paid. So I get that. So they can't hold out. But what about the ones who are not getting the deal and they be like, man, I'm not getting any money and I'm out here busting my ass and what do I do? Well, if y'all say y'all my brothers, we suffer in this heat, blood, sweat, and tears. Y'all getting millions of dollars. Y'all gonna break me off? Y'all gonna do something? So it's a lot of stuff to think about.
We got a comment here. I think that he missed what you said earlier, Steve. He said, High Power TV says, so let the university continue to profit out these kids and not compensate them. A degree don't amount to the millions they make from these kids. That's not what Steve's saying at all. He's saying pay them, but there needs to be some kind of system of checks and balances.
Yeah. So Hill Power TV, I think you came in later. You just misunderstood me. Yes, I want the kids to be paid. I do. I want them to be paid because it's fair, and I think it's a great thing. But I think that also the money needs to be handed out in such a way until where there's some type of control from the coach or the athletic director to where the kids won't go out and lose their mind with it. You know what I'm saying? Put it in a trust fund, and when they graduate or when they leave school, they can get it. They can get part of it now or whatever, get part of it now, a large percentage of it now to help them throughout the season, something that's realistic in the end, but they'll know, give them an incentive to collect all of it after they get out of school. You see what I'm saying? Give them the money. Whatever they earn. But listen, this is the way you can get the money, though. We're going to give you some of it so you can live, so you can get your car, whatever you're going to do. But at the same time, we're not going to give you all this money. We're going to give you an incentive to graduate or do something or when you get drafted or whatever. But just to give them all that money like that and say, okay, we're going to give you this and we're going to do this and this and that. Because honestly, I know this for a fact. The most crooked people on the planet are agents. I don't give a damn how they look, how they smell, the agents. Because believe it or not, the agents are jacking things up and doing all this for them, not for the player, because they got to get their percentage. If I don't sell you, if I don't get you the money, I ain't getting nothing. So they're going to do whatever they can to sell this player a dream or whatever. So, no, I'm not saying don't pay the players. Pay them. But just giving them these ridiculous amounts of money and say, okay, we got that, go and what you want to do with it. No type of financial literacy or nothing. To me, that's setting them up for failure. It really is.
Bo, what are your thoughts? I know this is something that's been, on your heart for a long time. You've spoken several times about it in the past. And anytime I put up videos about what you thought. It's skyrocketed because a lot of people are behind what you think. But if you would, man, kind of touch on that.
And he said again, Justin.
I was just going to get your thoughts on this, what we're talking about here, the NIL. And I know that you've been very outspoken about it in the past, but for those who are new to the show, man, what are your thoughts on how it's being done?
Because it doesn't get the kids, doesn't focus on the right thing. And now, like, kids can anytime they want and get a certain amount of money because they didn't transfer. Just like the quarterback from USC, because his head coach went out there, and now he making Oklahoma. And it's just that the kids more focused on the money than anything in school, getting a degree, being disciplined and doing the right thing, and going in and make it to the next level and make the money. But instead, they already have the money. Could you tell a kid that already got $2-3 million more than the coach does, and then to be 19 and have millions of dollars playing in college and do anything that you want? Yeah, I don't agree with the NIL. I think that they should go back to. I don't think they should go back to the way that it was, but I also think it should get something, but not just as much that it to the point they control, the system, and then because if you we discipline to like Coach Saban, the tough and the effort that you got to have to play the game, and I don't think that there are more kids that having pride in playing, have pride in how much money I'm gonna get if I go to this school, and how much money I'm gonna get if I. But they're not making a decision off for what degree when they get to this school. What can this school offer me? How long the head coach gonna be there? How long the position? I see myself going to this school. What can this school do for me later down the line? Now there's much money this school gonna give me, and they don't give a damn about what gonna happen after that. $1 million already coming in as a freshman, and then they stayed up three ended up they got $10 million before they even leave college. They got more than the first round.
That's a good point. Well, before we close up shop, man, if you would, man, talk to us about that championship game. You went off, you did your thing. You reminded us Alabama fans of playoff bowl. We all know what that's about, but the whole nation got to see it in that championship game. And then tell us what's next.
Yeah, man. I'm a different animal when it comes to the playoffs and champ like that. But I wish I would have gotten the ball more than I did. Coming out in the second half, I didn't play until 3 minutes left, and they in a 50 front. So of course everyone know that I'm gonna get the ball if 3 minutes and 43 seconds left, and we on the third. Of course we're gonna try to run the balls. So, but it was a great players. Everybody that played there either played in the league or were just, and it was very organized and professional ball. We had great coach. He was the running back coach for the Birmingham Stallions, and he did an awesome job at having us look at different things from a different standpoint, because he coached Jerry Rice and guys, and even he was the running back coach at Alabama back in the 80s and all that. Them kind of connected very well. So we was, and then his mother is actually from Utah, Alabama. Brown.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a connection there for us, and it was just awesome, man. To win the first championship for Birmingham, for a pro team, period.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, brother. Proud of you.
Yeah, we're definitely proud of you, bud. And we're looking forward to which NFL team you're gonna land on soon.
Yeah,
It's
me
coming.
too.
It's coming. All right, Steve
too.
Brown. Before we head out, brother, tell us what's up next for you. I know you got a big weekend planned down in Baton Rouge. Tell folks where they can find you, how to get tickets, and
But
what?
he better hope he make it out. I hope you make it out of Baton Rouge.
Hey man, let me tell you. You know what? When I'm gonna tell you what I did one time. That I did it in Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee. I hosted their homecoming step show. I hosted that, and this is a true story. Hosted their homecoming step show, and I told them that I had the crowd going so much they didn't even realize what I had done until afterwards. I said, "Okay, I'm gonna take a small break for me. I'm from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I got to do this for me." They were partying so hard, I got my DJ to play the Alabama fight song. They didn't even realize I was doing it. This is a true story.
Wait,
True story.
they had no idea what you were playing?
It took some football players to say, "Hey, man, you can't be doing that." The song was over by then. Yeah, man, I look forward to Baton Rouge this weekend. I got a huge fan base down there, man. They know I'm an Alabama fan. And we're just going to have a good time. 2 of the shows, well, I think both shows are damn near sold. So we're good to go. I go Friday. I got one show Friday, one show Saturday. I think they're going to add another show. I'm not sure. But, yeah,
So
that's cool, man. So
they fly you down and have you a black truck and have you a security and all that?
All that.
Oh, man, you big time.
All that.
That's the veteran treatment. I like it.
Yep.
All right, guys. Great show. Enjoyed it, fellas. I'll see y'all again next week. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.